me that you love me, baby girl, what you. Tell me that you love me, baby girl, what you. Tell me that you love me, baby girl, what you own. Tell me that you love me, baby girl, what you own. She says she like the vibe.
Yo,
You're.
what's good, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I get you clear.
Can you? Nice. Shit, how's it going?
Going good, bro. Just got done with the little Senior Bowl game. Competed against some athletes from other teams, bro. It was good. I'm sore, bro, but I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that soon. I'm gonna give you a nice little introduction, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for it?
Yep.
All right. So, welcome back, everyone. This is episode 20 of From the Heights podcast. And so, we have our special guest today. Our next guest is a powerful presence both on and off the field, coming out of Fillmore, California. He has built his name through discipline, grit, and relentless work ethic. Currently finished his athletic career at New Mexico State. He represents what it means to stay locked in, stay humble, and keep it pushing no matter what the odds are. With a journey rooted hard work, family, and football, he's someone a lot of young athletes can look up to. And please welcome Santos Valdez, everyone.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you again, bro. It's good to see that smile again.
I know, bro. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Holy shit. Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you for stopping by. I know, it's just been a busy week, especially busy last few months, honestly. So,
Man, it's been hectic.
I bet. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So how's everything else been going, man? You want to get into the grid? You want to kind of just catch up and how we've all been with each other?
Yeah, man. I'm just moving out here in Dallas, man, finding my way, just training, man, chasing the dream.
I feel you.
Really.
Yeah, let's get into the little start. So what, what was growing up for you as a young kid,
So growing up in a small town, Fillmore, California, if you look up the population, it's a population of 14,000,
Oh
There's
shit.
not much guys who make it out of there, There's a lot of there's a big Chicano culture there, a lot of low riders and all like that, a lot of pro clubs and all 501 jeans. Basically to say like not a lot of people stay in that town. It's a very stagnant town. So when I was younger, I had never really took interest into that. It's definitely deeply rooted in my culture and my family.
Absolutely.
But I looked up to athletes in neighboring cities, like in Ventura. We had a lot of athletes who went to the big schools like the USC's of the world, the UCLA's, those big schools, and I would watch TV and look at the screen. I'm like, dang, you know what? One day I really I wanna be on that screen. That's what's cool
Yeah,
to me. The lowriders are cool and all that, but what's cool to me is being on that screen. Having that limelight.
I feel you.
But grew up in a small town, man, and I was getting in a lot of trouble. Especially with a lot of bad influences around me, and ended up getting moved to Sioux City, Iowa, and thank you for my aunt Lupe. Shout out Woodbury Heights is where it all started too. So
Yes, sir.
shout out the Heights.
The
So
original Heights, honestly.
real deal, real deal, real deal. So I went out there sophomore year of high school because I was getting in a lot of trouble. A lot of athletes have a past having a trouble past, and
Yeah.
athletics kind of was my escape and my way of staying out of a trouble.
Yep.
And then I never really took it serious, and I never took school serious either. And comes junior year, private Catholic schools like Bishop Healing out in Sioux City, um, they caught my eye. They reached out and like, hey, I really think you'd take your talents to the next level here, um, and take this opportunity and get in a bigger stage and change your life, not only academically but athletically as well. Um, so I ended up transferring to Bishop Healing after living in Sioux City for a couple years, and I ended up getting some offers and offers to University of Northern Iowa, but I couldn't take it because my background from being in the small town of Fillmore, California, caught up to me because I was not doing no schoolwork, wasn't
Uh,
doing none of that. Straight F's. in the report card, and it caught up to me, man. I had to go to junior college route. I had a great football figure, Coach Clegg, ultimately changed my life. And I started getting attention, and especially with him in my ear, and then the offers coming through, but I couldn't take it. It kind of broke me down. But I had people in my ear, like Coach Clegg out in Iowa Central Community College, saying, "Hey, man, like you got the talent. Junior college is a great way to revamp your grades and get a second
Yeah.
chance, basically."
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that second chance, man, was everything I needed.
Yeah.
So I was able to go there, get my mindset right, focus on grades, mature a little bit, which also struggle, which I needed. I was like a spoiled brat growing up, so I needed to be in that JUCO presence, man. So it humbled me. It made me a dog. It made me hungry.
Yeah.
Because in junior college, well, now they got like a turf field and all that, but when I was there, we were in the mud, the dirt, like we were grinding, man. And yeah, and after my time at Iowa Central, I ended up going out to an FCS, Texas A&M Commerce, out in Commerce, Texas, and now they're East Texas A&M. But
Yeah.
spent 2 years there. Took my chances in the transfer portal, man, and ended up at New Mexico State.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So like, let's get
Mhm.
back into like the high school, like, like what's all started like the football, like a life, kind of getting into that, like, from like, obviously, like you were talking about, like you're getting in trouble, you're kind of doing like the wrong thing. So like, you got Coach Clay in your ear. So like, what kind of made you kind of like make that switch where it's like, it's like, I like football a lot. I'm gonna give it to like, like, it's like when you're a high school kid or like I caught like, that you get that little kid brain. And like I've obviously had that shit too. It's like I played only till like my sophomore year, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go party instead. So like, but you, it's like you obviously took like football a little bit more serious when you're like high school and elementary life and everything like that. Where it's like where was that turning point for you?
I feel like I used football as an escape until the opportunity started coming to me. Is when I started
Yeah,
taking it. It was like, oh, bro, you can get a degree off of this. Oh, people are getting paid now. You can. This can be a job for real if you really want it to be. And I was like, you know what, like that would be cool to do. So people around me started getting those types of opportunities, and seeing that just inspired me, man. Like, okay, I can change my life going down the wrong path and turn it into going to the right path, basically.
yeah.
So,
Do you think anyone ever doubted you during this whole thing?
man, I had my own coaches down on me at some points, dog. Like,
Really?
man, I mean, if you were to tell me in 2018, like, hey, you would be doing a fraction of what um I've done right now, um, I think you're crazy. It's taken a lot of second chances, a lot of doubts that I've came from were my own family. It'd be your own people that be down you. So um, yeah, for sure. And I think the doubt motivated me to push harder, push
Yeah,
breakthrough, to make that breakthrough, man. So it I was doubted from all areas and all corners. There's even self doubt. Self doubt is probably the biggest killer. Um, and you have to make it and turn it into a delusion is what I feel like to attack it
absolutely.
stronger. You have to be damn near delusional to the point where you manifest it into a real life thing and it's right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, so you started, so you go from you go from Healing, transfer to the West. They just hit me up. Shout out Sunny D.
Hey, that's funny thing.
But so you transfer to you go to Healing, you go to West, and you go to JUCO. So like, what was like some of like your fondest moments in during like those moments of going to JUCO? Like what, like because I see like on your Twitter page you're squatting like what was your what was that, like 500 pounds on that your Twitter?
Freshman year, 550 for
550 is
one.
insane, dude.
I was 18 years old, 550, and me and my boy Simon Wilson, still my dog. I was me and him doing the Senior Bowl to this day yesterday at AT&T. So Shout out Simon, man. That's my dog. But me and
Oh yeah.
him, we pushed each other, man.
You think it'll make it
We
like
pushed each other.
like you think it made it easier to have him on your side?
Yes, bro. Yes, because like that's your dog. He's also my roommate, so there's also that competitive edge. Oh, he hits 550. I need to get 555.
Oh
He's hitting
shit.
405. I need to get 510. Like so I can
Yeah,
have that. I can talk my talk when we get back to the dorm. So yeah, having that competitive edge around me just we bloomed each other. We pushed each other to the ultimate limit we could.
yeah. What was like
For
having
sure.
that like having that brotherhood? Because like a lot of people always like I think that's like where I struggled a lot in my football career. It's like I didn't really have like everyone had their own little clique and everything like that.
Hmm.
Like all my friends were like a lot of upperclassmen, but you had someone by your side. So like to have Simon, you think that like, if you didn't think you had Simon, you think you'd get this far?
I mean,
Or just had that special someone to where it's like, bro, it's like you got my back, I got your back.
for sure, bro. Like I remember the first day he got his first offer, man. We were both crying, dog. Like
Damn.
I got the offer. Like we had a lot of late night talks, dude. Like a lot of late night talks where we were just not one doubting ourselves, you know, two venting to each other what was going on in practice, what we were doing wrong, what we could learn from. Hey, bro, you were tweaking. Your pass sets were rough. Your technique's not clean. Hey, your
Yeah,
hand strike ain't right. Like we critique each other and we respect it because we know what we do and produce on the field. So we respected each other. I think that respect just um like flourished into ironing sharper than iron.
for sure. So how did you
But
get
yeah,
into
like
how did you get into becoming a center? Because it's like, I was that's like one question I wanted to ask you. It's like, it's like you're a big ass guy. You're bigger than me. And like when I remember when I met you, I was like, holy shit, this dude is definitely going to the league. Like so like even
yeah,
like
man.
my co-host couldn't make it today. He's I don't know, something's going around in the Sioux right now. Like everyone's just getting sick.
Oh
Like
yeah.
so like he couldn't make it today, but I know he has some questions to ask you. Hopefully we can get you back on it. After I know you have a pro day coming up, so I definitely want to get into that here soon. But
Yeah.
I'm like, what made you want to be a center?
So all throughout high school, I was a defensive tackle. With my time at Sioux City West, I was a defensive tackle. You know, um, and then when I had transferred to Bishop Heelan, they had said, "Hey, you got to play both sides. We're a small private Catholic school. We don't got much bodies. You got to play both sides." I was like, "Dang, that's kind of weird." And what actually surprised me too. My offers were for offensive line.
Yeah,
Um, but anyways, back to Keelan. They only had me playing guard. Center. I've never played center in my high school career ever, and that's when Coach Clegg came around from Iowa Central, where he was like, "Hey, I can make you into a pretty good center. I know based on your athleticism, your physicality, like I can really capitalize on how you play football and being a dominant center." At first, I was like, I don't know, man. Like I had my doubts because I've never played the position, let alone starting it in college, let alone
yeah,
JUCO, like where you're trying to make it out of JUCO, like going into an unfamiliar position. You're like, whoa, that could be a little iffy. That's a crazy risk, but you know what? He sold me on the vision that he had for me, and not only that, he had his own athletes so that year, like go to, I think there was a guy going to Syracuse, Temple, and I was looking on Twitter, there was just getting offers and offers, UNLV, like top schools.
absolutely.
And I was like, you know what, this guy knows what he's talking about. So why don't I listen to him and take my talents and trust in the process with him out in Fort Dodge, and then from there, dude, he just developed me into the center, and it was wrapped from there.
I feel you. So
Hmm.
you go to JUCO and you transfer out to Texas. How was that process? Like, like it's like because did you have to enter the transfer portal or go from like JUCO to Eastern Conference?
No, so
How
so
does that whole work out? If you want to get if you can kind of like break it down for
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So junior college, all you got to do is get academically eligible to transfer, and the easiest way to do that is just finish your associate's degree.
Yeah.
So uh, it really depends on the school because every school has different transferable credits. So it really matters on what classes you took and what transfers to each institution. So the easiest way to do is just graduate, get the degree, and then dip out because there's no limitations to that, you know. So that's what I did out of JUCO. Got my associates, 120 credits. Or not 120, it was 60 credits. Got my associates, and then you just kind of it's Twitter, bro. It's all Twitter.
All
You
Twitter?
so advertise yourself on Twitter. Coaches reach out to you or X, reach out on X. It's all social media.
That's
All of it.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
insane. So what was like the process of going to that school? Like, because was your family still here, or did they move? Because I was trying to, like, me and Zay were talking a little bit about it, just kind of give like familiarity to like where like the questions would come from. But
Yeah.
like, did you just get up and move to Texas, and it's like, damn, like, I'm basically like the only one here at this point. Like how was that type of process kind of going from like, you're home Sioux City right now currently, and it's like, well, you go to Fort Dodge, and now you're going from Fort Dodge to Texas. But like, what's going through your process of your mind? It's like, because right now it's like, well, when you transferred to Texas, what were you, like 19, 20?
I was 19, about to
19?
turn 20.
About to turn 20? What's going
Yeah.
through your 20-year-old brain in that moment, dude? Like,
Dude,
taking that big leap to go there.
I was like, you know what? It's a Division I school, so they're gonna take care of me financially and housing and all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust in them and use my athleticism to just see the world. I like to travel, so
Yeah.
I was like, you know what's by Dallas? Like, why not go see Dallas? I'm 20, I'm a youngin,
Bunch of
and
YN.
yeah, bro, yeah, definitely on a different like type of mindset for sure. But I was like, you know what, Dallas, let's go to Dallas because the other offer I had was Prairie View A&M out by Houston, but it was a little bit farther out from Houston,
Yeah.
um, which is what I was looking at. But yeah, I was like, you know what, I like Dallas more than I like Houston. There's it's more of a city I feel like I can vibe to because I had taken official visits. I saw the cities and I've got to experience them. So I was like, you know what, I like Dallas. Let's try it.
Yeah. So what was like some of your best like what was like the team, like the life there, like going from like, Fort Dodge, JUCO to go to D1 now, like by a way bigger school, way different program, by different coaches and everything like that. So what was the process of like that?
Honestly, the towns weren't much different. Commerce, Texas is a very small town, probably
Yep.
smaller than Dodge, Iowa itself. But I think it was just the fact that there was a Division I team there, and rather than a junior college team, it was not really a big difference. It was Flatlands, Texas, and Flatlands, Iowa. It wasn't the craziest difference environmental wise, but it was easy to like mesh in with the guys. Like I had a lot of guys welcome me with open arms. Like my boy Peyton Ellis, he had transferred out to Marshall University, but he actually just helped me move a washer and dryer to my new apartment. So
Nice.
we're still guys. So
Shout out
uh,
Peyton.
shout out Peyton, man. He was my host too on my visit. So yeah, he welcomed me with open arms, dog, and I like the guys. I like the
Yeah.
guys.
Having those guys. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think once you have like that right group of people around you and that right circle,
Yeah,
I think life gets kind of a little bit more easier.
yeah.
So like now, like, what was like one of your best games that you remember, like during the East Conference day, like the Texas days? Like, what was like one of your funnest, like the game you remember the most? Because I think we had a conversation. You came back home to where it's like there was like a 4th and 1 down. Like it was like 4th and 1. You had to do like a snap count. I don't know if this is like New Mexico or was Texas, but I remember we had some conversation like or something like that. You don't remember? Do you kind of remember which one it
Yeah,
was?
yeah. It was 2023 season against Old Dominion over there in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
And that game, it was not supposed to be a good game. It was their homecoming, and it was the biggest stadium I was in. There's 20,000. It seats 20,000, and it was from the beginning of the game. It was empty, and it wasn't supposed to be a close game at all. That was a team that almost upset Wake Forest that year, and they also went bowling too. So it was a solid Old Dominion team, and they also had
Yeah.
some All American guys and D linemen transfer out to Power Five too. Um, but I just remember it was a close game. It was on like a hurricane watch in the
Oh
beginning.
shit.
It was hectic, dog, and we were holding them up. It was 10-9, and one thing I remember vividly, and I'll probably remember forever, is for one, my helmet came up. I was dripping blood, and I was dripping on the ball. And the crowd was going crazy. It was 10-9. It was one of the last drives, and I'm trying to listen to the snap count. And in college football, the snap count is just a clap. It's a
Oh,
ready
really?
clap, and no matter where we're at, it was like that when we played in 110,000 people, and it was like that when we played in front of 1,000. That was always been the cadence. And
How are you hearing
yeah,
that
dude,
during that moment? And like,
it's you have to just zone in and know what type of clap you're gonna hear, because you hear that clap, so it's so repetitive in practice. You hear it so much, you know what like clap it is, if that makes sense, you know.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, man, I remember that vividly. That was my first actual like Division 1, like, oh my, like moment where like the little kid in me found joy, like, oh my gosh, I'm here, you know,
Yeah,
like this like I'm in the prime time of it. What it felt like, it was just a G5 game, you know, but just being in the Sun Belt Conference, just the little kid in me lit up, you know, seeing the lights and hearing the crowd roar, and it's such a close game. We ended up losing that game, but it was the first FBS game in Commerce history, because Commerce was a new FCS team. It was, I think they're
yeah.
on their second year FCS. It was a big deal in their program. But yeah, that was my most vivid memories. Was that in the 2023 season?
Well, like one question I do, like this was for my co-host. This was one of his questions where it's like, when you're getting ready to snap the ball, what's going down in that moment when you're going against one of those guys? Like, like who's in front of you, like a D tackle or like I don't know,
It
like the whole.
depends. It depends on the defensive front. If they're running an odd front, I'll have a guy right in my face, right there. Or if they're running a four down front, I can either have a two eye who's slightly to my right or left, or a three um, who's way out here. It depends what play call we run. But but yeah, man, what I'm thinking is just I'm thinking about the play. I'm not thinking about who's in front of me. I'm just like I'm thinking about doing my job and doing the physical.
Oh,
You
for
know, like
sure.
I feel like if you think too much, that's where shit goes wrong.
Yeah,
You know, I think it's better not to think but to react. And I kind of just let my instincts, because you know we practice, reps. It becomes muscle memory. You know,
for
so
sure.
I kind of lean onto the training and let my training do the work for it. You know.
Yeah. This is like one question he had also too is like when like obviously you're in that moment to where it's like, have you ever seen someone come like across from you to where it's like, holy shit, like like what it's like what's going through your mind when you see that person? It's like he's like coming straight at you. It's like, when you snap the ball, because it's like how are you saying it's like when you snap the ball, especially being a center, it's like you have one hand here and you have one hand up here. So it's like what's like going like you see like how he's probably coming in hot. So it's like what's your
Yeah.
like the
So
reaction time to where it's like you gotta like do you have to do something.
Yeah, so if there any centers in the audience watching right now, you gotta have a quick offhand. You know, you gotta be able to stop that. You know, you can't let them just go right into your chin. You know, you gotta stop it, because you're playing with one hand for like the first 2 seconds of,
Yeah.
of the play. You know, so you gotta learn how to use this hand and use it as like your shield, basically.
Yeah. Are you guys
Yeah.
jawing at each other down on the line or what?
Oh
I
yeah,
that's a
I've
yeah
heard it all. I've
that
heard it all. Man, I've heard it all, man. Like especially from the crowd after the drives. Man, I hear it all, dog.
yeah, because wasn't there was like a moment you came back and you were like people were bringing up like Sioux City and shit.
Yeah. So, in 2023, my bio in on ESPN at the time, it had Sioux City, Iowa as my birthplace, and at Old Dominion, the drunk fans behind me, Santos, Valdez, go back to Sioux City, Iowa. Dude, I'm like,
Oh.
whoa, they did their homework, dog. Like, what? I was like, that's crazy, but
Oh shit. That's
that was
hilarious.
also another thing I remember. Like, dang, like these games mean more, you know?
Yeah. Do you think it like when it comes when stuff like that happens, do you think it becomes personal between like, like the whole like you and like the person you're going against? Or like you just kind of like
I
immediately just like
zone it out.
you just
I
zone it
zone it
out?
out. Some people, they try to use it as motivation. They also entertain it, like chirp at them back. But I zone it out, because as a center, you got to know everything and anything, and also communicate it to the four people around you.
Yeah.
in a effective way, while there's also a crowd going crazy. You got D linemen talking smack to you, so you got to be on point, man. It's really hard to be on point, so
You're not
I
chirping
got to be
back at him?
dialed. No, I got to be dialed, dog. I'm caffeinated and dialed. I don't got time for none of the chirping.
I feel you. Damn. That's like, yeah, that was one question he wanted to ask you if he was here. He's like, what's going through your moment when you're going against
If it's a blowout, I'll dial it down and I'll talk my stuff. But if it's a close game, I'm dialed.
I feel
Gotta
you.
be.
So like you go from Texas, now you're in New Mexico State. So what was that like? What was the process of going in the transfer portal? It was like because you didn't have to enter the transfer portal leaving Fort Dodge to go to Texas, but now don't you have to enter it going from Texas to New Mexico?
Yeah. So the reason why the transfer portal is the way it is and not from JUCO to D1 is because while I was at Commerce to New Mexico, they're both NCAA schools.
Mm-hmm.
So you once you want to leave, you have to turn in your notification to transfer to the NCAA. It's all through NCAA. You go to your compliance office. You literally tell them, "Hey, I want to enter the transfer portal." You put your name in there, and then your name's in like a spreadsheet of thousands of athletes, and coaches are able to see your information and your Twitter, and then they hit you up, and you guys connect, and you post your film, and whatever fits the mold, that's where you land.
So like, I know you had a few offers. Like you had what Morehead State that was on it.
hmm
What made you make that decision to go to New Mexico State instead of Morehead State?
So Morehead State was one of the first offers out of JUCO. I know
Okay.
24/7 does have that when I was in in the transfer portal for some reason, but in the transfer portal, my first day in there, I was offered by Southern University in Baton Rouge,
Okay.
and then
Was Louisiana Monroe in there too? UNLM?
no, Louisiana
No.
Monroe didn't never reached out, but after I did commit from New Mexico State, I had some other schools trickle in and try to grab me, but I was already signed and sealed, so that was really. But for the most part in the transfer portal, it was mostly FCS schools, and then New Mexico State was the first G5 to really mess with me, so they took me on a visit next day. They were quick with it, and I appreciated that. Because I was trying to find a home. I also had a lease coming up. My roommates were moving out, and it was all perfect timing. Like
Yeah.
the day I had a report was the day I had to leave my apartment out in Texas, so it all worked out perfectly.
Yeah. You with you going to New Mexico State, do you wish like was there a school that you were kind of hoping you would get?
I was thinking like I wanted to go out to Cali. I
Okay.
wanted to because my family they struggle to travel a lot. We got medical health conditions there, so they can't travel too much. So
Absolutely.
being in California would allow them to be there a lot more. Like that's why when we played San Diego State in 2024, I had a whole army with me. There was an army of like 50 Valdezes out there,
Oh
dog.
wow.
Like they came out. They had whole cutouts of my face in there. Went viral on Twitter for a little bit, bro. Like,
Damn, did it?
yeah, they came out. College Football Home had reposted it, and
Damn.
uh, and yeah, dude, it was awesome. And but yeah, I wanted to go back home. I was like, my mindset in the portal was, you know, let's try and go far west as we can. And um, the other schools that had interest in me that were G5 were also were schools out in Florida, and then out in Texas as well. And I was like, I've already been in Texas.
Yeah.
Let's go as far west as we can. And I was like, you know what? Las Cruces, New Mexico is pretty cool. I haven't played football in like a place with mountains and not in the middle of nowhere. Because mind you, I went from Fort Dodge, middle of nowhere, to Commerce, which is basically middle of nowhere, Texas. Outside the city. You know,
Yeah.
and Las Cruces is a quiet city, man. It's like Sioux City in a way, but with mountains and a desert. There's about 100,000 people there. It's very quiet for the most part. Not a tri-state area though, but there is El Paso, Mexico, and New Mexico right there. But
Hell yeah.
it's was a different vibe, and I like different things. I like trying new things. I like being out of my comfort zone. So I thought it was the best fit for
It's
me.
like we got about 10 minutes because that shit was trying to make me pay $150.
Oh hell no.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, we'll cut this
We
one
could we
short.
could run it back later, bro. Like
Yeah,
I'm free up until pro day in March. So I literally I'm free.
let's get into this the senior bowl now. So like what was the senior
Yeah.
bowl like? Like how was that like? Like what was like the vibe going into like, you go from Fort Dodge, go to Texas, New Mexico State, now you're in the senior bowl, and you're in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. It's kind of hectic because you got to mesh a scheme and also play with against or with four other offensive linemen in two practices, three practices. So it was very hectic. You had to learn a playbook in 3 days, but for the most part, the experience was like no other. I'm not gonna lie. You had guys from Baylor, TCU, Georgia Tech, like those big schools, UCLA,
Yeah,
all the way down to like Division 2 schools, even NAIA schools, but they were the dogs of the NAIAs and the D2s. Like I honestly think like the most talented individuals were from Division 2 or smaller schools because they were definitely hungrier, ready to expose those guys in those bigger decals on their helmets for sure.
I got
But
you.
man, that was fun, man. That was a really fun experience. I'll remember it forever. I also got to play that game with my boy Simon, my old roommate. So
Hell
it
yeah.
was one to remember, and also in an NFL stadium, man. You can't beat that.
I'd say a lot of people don't even make it to that, just even step on
Yeah.
the field, and then you got to play on the field, So like what's going through like, you obviously go from Sioux City West, you know, where that school's football program is just kind of out the window at this point, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But now you're playing on the Dallas Cowboys like field, like man, like that had to be just like an unreal feeling. Like what was like when you walk out to that field, like what was that kind of feeling like? From going
So
from TV to seeing it, to being on it and playing on it. That's just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. It was like I said before, the child in me just was proud of myself, like especially like it's like the way I felt walking out against Tennessee, the Tennessee Vols, man, like walking out seeing 110,000 people screaming Rocky Top, so it was that adrenaline rush, it was kicking.
I feel you. Well, man, I'm
Hmm.
gonna get you out on these like little five quick questions, okay?
Hmm.
I'm gonna fire them off. You just answer them the best you can. So what's the best advice you ever heard?
Don't think, react.
What's the worst advice you ever heard?
Don't listen to your peers.
So if you could meet 16-year-old Valdez, what would you say to him right now? The person you are today, if you could talk to your 16-year-old self, what would you tell
Stop doubting yourself.
him? All right, I got two more questions for you. If you could, if you have a message to the younger youth that want to make it to, like all the like, everything you've been through, the grind, the JUCO, to Texas, to New Mexico State, the same. What message do you have to the little kids out there that probably gonna end up watching this through TikTok, YouTube, the whole 9 yards? What advice do you have for them to keep
So
going?
yeah, if you want to play at the highest level, you got to get them grades right. The grades are almost, if not more important than the film, and you also got to stay motivated and keep a mindset. Your mindset is everything. So you gotta really want it. If you can't think you want it, you got to know you want it, and you got to have that vision and keep it tunnel vision.
I love that. All right, this is the last question of the night. You see your name get drafted on that board. Was it April? The draft is.
I think so.
What message do you have for that team that's going to draft you?
You're getting a dog, man. You're getting a dog who's scratched and clawed for everything he's ever gotten in life. It's been earned and not given.
Hell yeah! Any shout outs you want to do before we end the show?
Hey, shout out Sunday. No, I'm just Nah, man. Hey, shout out Crisis, bro. That's my dog. Shout out Simon. Shout out Eatsell. Shout out
Oh
my boy
gosh, shout out Sunny
Peyton.
D.
Shout out Sunny T. Uh, hey, shout out Jose from Finish Line, man. That's my dog.
Oh shit. Anything else for the people before we end the show?
Just keep God first, man. He does amazing things. He even on the darkest days, he'll show light into it.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I said we'll definitely have some more conversations here soon. Once my co-host is back, we'll definitely have another conversation here. I'd love to get Simon on here if he's willing. If you want to have that conversation with him, I'd love to have I think I was scrolling through his Instagram. I was like, damn, this dude's a big boy.
Yeah, hey, he's a dog now. Hey, he's a
That's what
dog.
I'm saying. I was
Yeah,
looking at him lifting. I was like, that boy is a dog. He got that dog in it. You can
yeah,
tell
yeah. So he's on his way back to Illinois, but within the next couple of days, he'll be free. I'll hit him up.
for sure. Well, yeah, man, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the conversation, man. Always rooting for you, always supporting you. I need some merch from you. You need to create a merch line, something, so I can order a shirt. I want to hang it up right
Bro,
here. That's where I want it.
what size are you, bro? My school just sent me some long sleeves.
This 2XL.
I got you.
I appreciate you.
I got you.
Other than that, man, like I said, appreciate you. Always good luck to the future. Good luck to the pro day. Good luck to everything, man. Like I said, I appreciate you stopping by. Other than that, man, this is From the Heights. This is Santos Valdez, and this video will be dropped tomorrow. As soon as we end this call, I'm gonna edit the whole thing tonight. I'm gonna post it tomorrow.
Man, bro, thank you for having me, dog. It's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you, man. Stay up there back in Dallas or everywhere in Texas you be at. I'll be down there soon.
Let me know, bro. Let me know.
My boy's in Arlington, so I'll be down there soon. I need to do a podcast with them, so maybe we'll all do a three-way podcast.
Let me know, dog. I'll be out here.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'll see you, man. Love you, man.
Love you too, bro. You be easy.
Peace. I'm gonna get a picture. I gotta send this to Zay.
Right.
Because he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, why did you tell me to come over?" All right, man. Peace, brother. Peace and love, man.
Peace, dog. Love.
Santos Valdez, everyone.
She says she like the vibe. She see